YouTube, what's going on? It's your boy Buddha, finally back in the building with another last Cloudia news and information video. We have the information on the part 2 NieR Automata collab character A2, who we've been speculating on. A lot of people saw the writing on the wall, and I'm not even going to lie to you, this is probably the most informed I've been going into a character reveal video. I have watched it, I have talked with the guys about her already, and so I do have some fleshed out thoughts in regards to A2 and some information that is actually not shown here in the video just because of a couple errors, I think, on the editing side. But nonetheless, oh man, the single-wield power creep is upon us. Aidis is officially trying to bring single wielders up to the dual wield meta, and I'm not mad at it, even if they are trying to do it via characters, which kind of feels bad. It's not like a buff for single wield, sufficient buff for single wield in general. We are seeing the new single wield oriented characters very, very much competing on this level and basically being locked to that level. You can't then take these characters and make them dual wield and get double the damage out of them. You have to single wield. I'm getting ahead of myself. We got to watch the video, but as some of you may have seen, I did post a community announcement about my lack of activity on YouTube this week. It's kind of crazy, some things that I can't quite just start talking about and describing, but a lot of emotion in my life currently, so I'm not able to sit down, make videos, edit them. I'm kind of up and around all day, at least starting Monday, and until this Saturday, it's going to be kind of like that. But luckily, before I do go out of town later this evening, I have an opportunity to film some videos. Perfect timing, A2 info just dropped, and I plan on making maybe one or two other ones that can at least get posted up this week. I think that's long enough of an intro. Let us dive into the video showing off the newest character coming to Last Cloudia. Oh boy, we got the cutscenes from the game Automata. I am so sad that my NieR Automata playthrough on Twitch has been cut so short so soon. Here we go. Here are the moves. Her S1 is a 4 hit count, so her S2, I might as well just say here, it showed a 7 hit count there, but apparently there were some hits that were not registered because they weren't hitting the enemies in range. Apparently her S2 is a 10 hit count, which is much better than a 7. We will definitely take that. And her S3 Heavy Sword Rush, we can see, is a 10 hit count as well. Her AoE, well, I'm sorry, her special is an AoE, as we're going to see, of, I believe, 28 hits. 24 hits, I'm so sorry. So there is her special, and we move on to the traits. Now here we can see. You thought Leona was crazy with her plus 12,000 on single wield? Well, A2 in her prototype type A trait, when only one weapon is equipped, physical attack damage cap plus 20,000, everyone. So there you go. This is what they're going to have to start doing for single wielders to compete with dual wield damage numbers. You got to stack 15,000, 12,000 plus damage cap on them immediately. And that's not even counting everything that we're about to see next. So 20,000 damage cap. And look at this. It's when only one weapon is equipped. So it's not even sword locked. Leona, we know, is claw locked. But this is just one weapon. So it frees up a lot of her customization, which I like a lot. When an ally is incapacitated, apply strength plus 30%, physical attack damage cap plus 2,000 to unit. So you can get 2,000 cap on this girl. When an ally goes down, I see this trait going one of two ways. Either it's active when an ally is down, let's say you revive them and the buff goes away, or when an ally goes down, she gets a temporary buff. So even if you revive the ally, she will have this buff for a certain amount of duration. We don't know yet. Based on the wording, I'm not completely sure. Those are just my speculations here. Then we've got her trait 2, Berserk Mode. A lot of people were anticipating this, that are fans of the game, is A2's Berserk Mode. At the battle start, special gauge fill rate plus 100%. I jumped the gun and got way too excited. I thought at the battle start she started with 100% in her special gauge. That is not the case. Her special gauge fill rate, as it clearly describes, is just doubled. So if it would take 30 seconds to charge it up originally, with this effect it would take 15 seconds because of that 100% increase in charge time. So this is lost when a special is used. So she will have this buff, this 100% to her charge rate, until that first special is used. And let's say you're doing a long drawn out fight. After you use the special, she will no longer have that very fast special rate charge time. Special starts Berserk mode, everyone. Physical attack damage plus 50%, and then damage cap plus 10,000. But continual HP decrease. So if it's anything like the Berserk skill that we already have in the game, I believe that's a 20% decrease to HP every 6 seconds. Almost got it. Every 6 seconds, reduce HP by 13 to 15%. So it can drain you quite quickly, Berserker can, and it can end up killing your unit if you don't have the proper sustain. But she's getting a 10,000 damage cap on top. So just within her traits, although 12,000 is conditional, Homegirl's got 32,000 cap built into her traits. Now this isn't even single wield locked, which is nice, but with a 20,000 when one weapon is equipped condition, you don't want to lose out on this amount of damage. Dual wield is not going to be as beneficial in terms of damage output. But let's keep on going. So crazy numbers. Everyone loves their damage cap. So this girl is not falling short in any way, shape, or form. Then we've got her abilities. So the animations that we saw. Skill 1 is Sword Storm. Only 4 hits, which is very, very little. Medium range light combo attack. Damage cap plus 2,000. So that's another conditional. Her skill 2 is Rising Smash Wide Area light combo attack that throws enemies into the air, and damage cap plus 5,000 on the slam attack. Now I do believe that the slam attack is only 1 hit. Demos or Panda said it could be 1 to 2 hits. So out of the 10 hits that it's supposed to be, you're getting 1 to 2 of them with that plus 5,000 on hit damage. Kind of feels bad, but you're already hitting crazy numbers with her anyway, so it's just like a little cherry on top. Then her skill 3 is Heavy Sword Rush. Instantly close the gap for a medium area light combo attack, which we also saw is 10 hits. Or it could be more. Now I don't even know if I can trust the hit counts that we saw in the beginning of the video. But from that video, we saw it was 10 hits, and it's an instant gap closer, which is always great for any type of close range DPS unit. Special attack is, her special is Attack Limiter Release, which we saw powerful light combo attack to all enemies, and it activates that Berserk mode that we saw in her trait. So going to be very, very nice. I got so excited when I thought it was 100% special gauge at the start, because I thought we were going to enter the A2 AoE special PvP meta, and I was ready to do a whole rant on how that was going to be so game-changing and amazing, but it's not quite that broken, so I needed to slow my roll. We've got her skill board in front of us at max skill levels. Glory to Mankind, when at least one human-type ally is alive. Unit strength, defense, and mind plus 10%, so solid. Taunt is when physically attacking an enemy close to death. Physical damage plus 30%. When defeating an enemy, recover SCT 5 seconds. So very nice. Basically has a pose of glory built into her with that skill, with another just 30% physical damage on top if the enemy is close to death. So this I'm just going to cut to the chase. A2 is going to be a PvP DPS destroyer, a PvP attack destroyer. It's going to be insane. Then she's got Lone Survivor. When unit is alive and all allies incapacitated, very greatly restore unit HP once per wave, and boost damage plus 20% times number of incapacitated allies. So we know that with a team of 4, if 3 go down, she can get up to 60% physical damage. I'm sorry, that's just damage. That's boost damage, so that's not physical locked. That's her 60% damage. That will count for her special. If you want to make Mage A2, go ahead. You got Lone Survivor working with you. That is a joke. She's very much like that skill describes, a Lone Survivor, a Lone Wolf. She's getting a lot of boost when she is the only one alive. She comes for the first time. We've seen Giant Killing 2, which is skill and special damage to bosses plus 20%. That is the same as the original, but it also gives another 2,000 damage cap. So extra damage if you're fighting boss enemies. Then her OS chip is the little Easter egg that these Automata characters are coming with. If you unequip this skill, the unit will start the battle and then eventually just die. But if you keep it equipped, you get plus 5% to her strength, defense, int, and mind. So no reason not to turn that off unless you're looking for some funny cheese mechanics. Then we've got plug-in chip attack, plug-in chip intellect, and plug-in chip self-defense or special defense. We've seen that with the other characters, 2B and 9, so I'm not going to review all of that. They basically just kind of stack on top of each other, decrease each other depending on which ones. You can turn some of them off, turn the other ones on if you want to get funky with which stat increases and decreases you're playing with. So just a cool little effect. I like that little attribute that these characters, these collab characters, are coming with. And then in terms of the skills that we already know of, she comes with Patience, Patience 2, which I believe is defense up when close to death. She has Pose of Victory, which is on kill health regen. Weapon Break is fantastic for breaking through enemies' defenses. It's why Baron looked so good against the stone wall, if you guys remember, because he could just shred through that thing's defense, and I think Weapon Break was a significant part in that. So here you go. Skills have a 1.5% chance to grant a minus 20% physical damage for 40 seconds debuff. So actually, that was a complete lie. This, I believe, just makes the enemy hit weaker. It doesn't affect your damage to them, it affects their damage to you. So let me slow my roll right there. We've got HP up max, Fighting Spirit 5, Machine Slayer, Physical Damage Healing 2. She's got a lot of sustain and survivability in her kit, which I don't mind at all. Comes with Sharp Eyes and Goddess Kiss. That's 20 SC saved for 50% extra damage. Blood Force, again, another sustain. Light High Drive, great multiplier. Light Mega Drive, there's another 2,000 cap. Light Attack Raise 2, there's another light damage multiplier. Indomitable Spirit, I believe keeps your unit from dying. If they're going to take a fatal hit, they will survive with 1 HP and then look at heal for 50% HP. Also grants a 30% skill damage for 40 seconds buff to self, so that's not bad at all. I'm not mad at that. We'll take that. Then we've also got Doppelhander, which we know just got the most recent buff from 2,000 to plus 5,000 for these one-handed skills. So another incentive to use a one-handed sword. Favored sword we can see here. Now, this also got a buff, as we saw with the recent unit buffs, specifically for Bayland. I know my co-hosts were speculating that they were buffing this favored sword skill for A2 specifically, and look at that. That's exactly what happened. But listen to this. At first I thought with Favored Sword and Doppelhander she was going to have 15,000 damage cap locked behind single-wielding swords. But Favored Sword only asks for one weapon. So again, this still reads 3,000 on Lake's site, but it is now a plus 10,000 to damage cap. And you only need one weapon. It's not sword locked, which I think is funny. Doesn't make too much sense, but it basically allows you to single wield Trishula on A2, which is absolutely nutty. All you're losing if you single wield Trishula is plus 5,000 damage cap. And with all of the benefits that Trishula will give you if you're fighting an enemy that resists light damage, you're not hitting damage cap anyway. So your only chance to hit damage cap against that kind of unit would be to run Trishula, which she can do, and she doesn't lose a lot because of that. So quite crazy. Like with Leona, we knew that her potential could only go so far because she was weapon locked and element locked. With A2, it frees that element lock because you can run Trishula and weapon lock to a certain extent, because you can run any single wielded weapon and get the majority of her damage cap buffs. So moving on from that thought, she comes with auto haste, which is great, auto protection, which is more defense, and then quick trigger, which is a great skill to have. Incredible kit. She's going to literally blast people away. The enemies are going to be looking like Team Rocket in front of this girl. She's going to swing that big old sword or big old Trishula, if that's what you're running, and knock them into the sky to never be seen again. Until the next episode, of course. And we've got some nice CGI to tease the Ark that is coming with A2, the newest LR Ark that we didn't have details for until now. Machine life forms. The artwork is incredible, although I must say, if I remember reading everything correctly the first time around, I don't see anything standoutish about this Ark. So let's just go ahead and read the attribute. For each living machine type enemy or ally, strength plus 5% up to 30%. So you can get a total of 6. If you have your machine type team consisting of 4, you only need 2 enemies, vice versa. You can play around with that number. But whatever, it's a strength boost, so I'm not even that interested in it. Physical damage taken from non-machine types minus 10%. So that's actually not too bad, but minus 10%. Okay. When an ally is incapacitated, apply a critical rate plus 15% buff and a SCT recovery speed plus 30% buff to unit. So again, emphasis on A2 and her being the only one alive, or the one alive when another teammate goes down. She's getting more buffs if you equip her with this Ark, or any other unit for that fact. Learnable skills, we have charge attack, skills at max stock, deal damage plus 20%. Okay, I mean, this will be cool, like if you use Honey Elixir or WAP and you have all your skills at max and you're struggling to hit damage cap with them, at least the first of that skill is going to hit even harder. Then we've got Imitation Human. This skill is weird to me. Battle start, give unit soldier, knight, sorcerer, or sniper type. So it gives them one of the 4 for 40 seconds. And then type is lost at the end of battle, which is just signifying that it's a temporary buff. But it's also only a 40-second buff because it says battle start. But then it says machine type only, strength and defense plus 10%. So if I'm understanding this skill correctly, you have to be a human for 40 seconds minimum. And then if you also are either naturally a machine type or you have machine mimicry on the unit, you then get 10% to your strength and defense. Like, I don't see the return at all in this skill. So it is what it is. Here's the only thing I'm interested in is anti-chain damage. When taking a combo attack, reduce damage as hits increase. Max damage taken 50% at 50 hits. This is quite significant, especially let's say if you have a 2B running around in arena comboing like a maniac. This might be able to mitigate a lot of that damage if you're going, for your defensive team. So I'm not mad at this skill. I think it will find some use maybe in PvP, but again, that will all depend on SC cost and if the comboing in PvP is really that big of an issue or will be significant enough for this to be anything. Then it also comes with counter, which is meh. Skill charge 2, which is okay. I wish it came with skill charge 3, but and then thunder shield, which is also just very situational and niche. So unless the AER is absolutely wild, I'm not seeing anything like super meta coming from this. Again, maybe anti-chain damage will be huge in damage mitigation for certain areas that I'm not completely thinking of. But again, we'll have to wait and see. Nothing that stands out to me as wild with this art by any means. Demos did send me a message from Barleen today, which has his notes for how to improve these information showcases. He does want to start including the regular attacks for the units, which will be really nice to see ahead of time. Indicate the hit count so that there's no room for error in trying to demonstrate it in battle. We'll just have the hit count number in the video, which will add a lot of clarification, and also show the AER. So these are improvements to these videos that Barleen has on his radar and plans to make in the future. Just wanted to throw that detail out there in case some people were like, well, they should just add this so there's no confusion. Hopefully it will be coming in the next video. They also did do this little special announcement right here. I don't know if I'm going to like watch the whole video, but basically they just reveal all of the merchandise that is coming. We are finally getting Last Cloudia merch available, even for international. So we've been asking for it. It seems like it's a lot of the promo stuff that they've been sending. Are those earrings? I'm not sure. And then they have AirPod cases. They just have a bunch of stuff. I did post the announcement that merchandise was going to be available, but this special announcement is just them showing off the different products that are available. So very cool. We've been asking for Last Cloudia merch. You know, I think a lot of us were hoping for posters and big things that we could display in our backgrounds and on our walls. Nothing here is anything like that, but it's a start. So I'm just glad they're getting it started, getting the ball rolling. Get them some more money so they can continue to produce the game for us, right? Because if the game starts losing money, it eventually dies, and then none of us get to play it. But that's going to sum up the video for our girl A2 and the information. People are going to be hyped. They're going to be pumped. She's definitely got some of the craziest damage potential for a single-wield unit that I think we've ever seen. Again, this is going to be what they do. They are starting to power creep the single-wielders, which I am all for. Even if it element locks them, even if it weapon locks them, it's a start to finding some kind of balance, because dual wield meta is still just insane. Like, even as crazy as this girl's damage cap is, right? It's going to be awesome to see 60,000 damage cap as a number, which we've seen with Leona, but it'll be probably more consistent with A2. She's still not hitting Lug level numbers at the end of the day. Unless I'm missing something, I'm sure Tweaks will release the spreadsheet calculating exactly what her damage potential can be with things like Icy Guardian, any other cap raises that I didn't factor in. If I'm doing the math right, she's got 10 hits on her S3. Even if we round up to a 70,000 damage cap, that's 700,000 damage per skill stock. Meanwhile, Lug has 1.2 million available to him. So people get upset when I bring Lug into the conversation, but as an endgame player, I am always going to compare their new releases to the top of the top. We know that they're not planning to release things that power creep Lug, which I'm completely fine with. I never said I wanted every new unit to be better than Lug or I'm disappointed. It's just I have to make that comparison to see where the level of this character is going to be, at least in terms of DPS potential. A2 is definitely going to be up there. I mean, 700,000 on a single hit skill is no slouch of a number of damage output. She's going to be absolutely insane. We won't know exactly how crazy she is until she's in game. And spoiler alert, she's going to be absolutely nuts. I think PvP is where I'm going to see the most crazy stuff from her. But I need to cut this video so I can start editing it and making some other ones for you guys, so you're not left to dry with no Buddha videos this week. I want to at least get you something, because this is hyped. It's going to be lit. There will be no LC Pro podcast this week, so expect a follow-up one the next week, which is, I think, okay, because it'll give myself and the guys more time to play around with the update and see what we're able to find. So apologies for making you wait this week, but it should be a pretty grand return the following. I hope you guys are enjoying the collab. Let me know your thoughts. Let me know what you think of, let's say, you've been building 2B or 9s and what your findings are with them. Are you pulling for this girl because of that crazy, crazy damage cap? I know a lot of people will be. I think a lot of her other features will be awesome as well, like the special charge rate, all of the sustainability that she has. I think she's going to be an incredible character, as they typically do release another badass character that's potentially better than the initial release character. Guys, like and subscribe to the video. Hit that bell notification so you're able to catch a video as soon as I post it in case of any emergency situations. And that's all I got for you this time. Thank you for bearing with me during this slow week of Buddha videos, but I promise next week we will return stronger than ever. That's all I got for you this time, guys. Y'all know what we say. Work hard, play harder. See you in the next video.